Hi, folks. Here we are on Saturday afternoon, August 30th of 2025 at 3 p.m. It's the summer of Jaws. Jaws 50th anniversary. And I've got the t-shirt on, one of my t-shirts. And there's a reason I'm wearing this t-shirt. And I will talk about it more as the time goes on. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be seeing Jaws again. I saw Jaws yesterday in the movie theater, and I'm going to be seeing it again tonight in 3D this time with my friend Robert S. So it's going to be exciting, and looking forward to that. Just 4 hours from now, 4.5 hours from now, if you count the trailers that they force upon you. Hello to Gary. What's going on, Gary? Okay, Gary says, I know you like the summer, but do you like the cool in the morning and warm in the afternoon kind of weather? I prefer that the morning was not cool. It was very crisp this morning. I don't like it crisp like that. And the fall is okay. Fall, I don't mind crisp, but not in the summer. No. But, it's okay. It could be a lot worse. At least we had sun and, it was dry, no rain. You know what I mean? That's always good. And hello, George. Music for all 4 seasons. That's a good title. Not just the one season, but 4 seasons. They caught a shark, not the shark, not the shark that killed Chrissy Watkins, and not the shark that killed the little boy. Probably not the shark that killed the little boy. Which I was going to prove today by cutting. Oh, you want to let that breathe for a minute? Nothing. Anyway, yes, hello, Mark. What's going on? Mark is here. What's going on there, Mark? Yeah. Lila, since you're here, I'm going to say again, I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe moving these Catchup with Mayo live streams to Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern, which would make that midnight in the UK. I'm not sure about it, or maybe I'll do 2 a week. I don't really want to do 2 of these a week. I think checking in once a week is fine. I think checking in once a week is fine. Let's put it that way. Did I say hello to Christian? I'm sorry if I didn't. I forget sometimes. Oh, no, there was no bonus footage added, but when I see Jaws again tonight, it's going to be in 3D because I've never seen it in 3D. Okay, and Alan is going to see Jaws with my son later on today. Hey, okay, Alan, first question. Did he ever see Jaws before? And second question, if he did, has he ever seen it in a theater before? Please let me know what you think. Mark says, I'm busy every other Tuesday evening, so I would likely not make a lot of them if you move them there. Yeah, I don't know what to say. The basic thing, folks, as you probably know, is that starting last Tuesday and going every Tuesday night up until June, through June, I have to go to this place and be there for 2 hours at least. And to kill time, I could do a lot of things. I could watch people's videos. I could read a book. I mean, I could sit there and just go for 2 hours, or I could do a live stream. So last Tuesday, I did. My friend Danny and I came and did a live stream. We did. It came out bad, but be that as it may, we did. We did a live stream, and it was the Joe and Danny show. And I think I like the Joe and Danny show better in the morning. So Tuesday nights also conflict with the Monmouth University's Tuesday Night Record Club, which I also miss a lot. But we'll see how it goes, Mark. As I say, I don't even know if I'm going to bring any guests up. Just hang loose there. Maybe I'll bring you up later. Maybe I'll have some guests come up. I really don't know if this is going to be a hardcore Beatles discussion or not. If it turns into one, stick around. I did not see Sharknado. Let's see. Okay, do you think it's fair that I can't buy just Anthology 4? I'm forced to buy the whole expensive set. No, I do not think it's fair. I think it's damn unfair. This is the one time where I'm really happy to agree with people and call it a cash grab, something that I don't usually do. I don't use the term cash grab very often, but in this case, you're damn right it's a cash grab, and they want you to buy all four of the big set, and I really think it's disgraceful. I really think that Apple, Beatles Company, Universal Music, whoever's responsible, I really think they should be allowing you to have the opportunity to buy the fourth disc alone, not have to be forced if you want it to get the other three too. I think that's terrible. And yeah, definitely. So let's see now. I'm reading the large anthology book again, and my God, it's amazing. Lots more in the book than in the documentary. Yeah, but I love the documentary. I do. I love the documentary. All right. Okay, Uncle Paul, what's going on? My theater was out of Jaws buckets. Oh, well, 53 years late at this moment was at 1-to-1 matinee. Oh, very good. Today was Wednesday, the 30th of August. The 1-to-1 benefit concert for the children of Willowbrook, as Lennon said. Tickets are right now on sale at Madison Square Gardens. He called it Madison Square Gardens. But anyway, if you want to get some Jaws merch, you can go to any theater. Just if it means that much to you, and it should, because here's one. Let me tell you why it should mean something to you here. This is why, okay? This is why it should mean something to you. All right, that's why. Okay? And if you need this Jaws, whatever you want to call it, thermos or drink cup, which you do if you're a collector, make it your business to go to different theaters. You'll get one eventually, but go fast, sooner rather than later. Go now. Go sooner rather than later, please, if you want it. Okay, because this thing is freaking cool. Here's the swimming with bow-legged women. All right. So definitely. And I'll have you know, I got this particular thing and the other things that I don't have handy here. I got it at a Regal Theater. There's different theaters. There's the Regal Theater. The Regal Theater had this, and I don't know if they all get it or what. And then the AMC Theater is the one that got, you can barely see it here on the side here, right above my finger here, the Jaws. See it sitting here? The Jaws popcorn holder that opens up like that with a shark's mouth. That's at AMC Theater. I don't know if you can get them anywhere, but anyhow. Okay. Okay, Alan's son never saw it in the theater, but he's seen it before. Did they give away a promotional poster or anything? In the Regal Theater, I did. Make sure if you go to ask. There is, you can't really see it. You see that behind my head there? See next to Paul? You could barely see it. Here. Jaws 50th. It's a poster. Free. Complimentary poster. So, but that was at a Regal Theater. And I would say, just ask. When you go, ask any free merch, anything, posters, anything. Okay. I enjoyed your last Danny show Tuesday night. Would you ever consider doing 2 Danny shows a week, Tuesday nights and Friday mornings, as you did this week? Maybe. I think Danny's a bit much for me to take twice a week, frankly. But having said that, we have done, there have been times where Danny and I have done 2 shows a week. By the way, in case some of you don't know, there are other channels I have here. If you want to see the Danny show, make sure you subscribe to this channel here. I'm going to put these as one eventually. Mayo Loves Mondays. That's a show. That's a channel that I have dealing with lifestyle, the crazy day-to-day experiences of living. My rant videos are now there. Anytime I do a new rant video, it's at Mayo Loves Mondays. No more new rant videos here. So if you like rant videos, and I know some of you do, please join Mayo Loves Mondays for future rants when I go off my rocker, because I can't stand how things are messed up today. And do that. And it's about living. It's about ranting. It's about trying to eat better, which I'm not doing right now, but I'm going back to in September. We'll talk about that. It's about trying to lose weight. It's about trying to make sense of this crazy world. It's about being a retired. If you're an older person, you might find some value there. Younger people get a few laughs too. So it's not just for old people. And then that's that channel. And that's the one that has the Danny Show on it. Of course, you can also subscribe to this one, which is Mr. Cinemayo. And that's movies. And I have a lot of Jaws stuff. If you like Jaws, I did a video about going to see Jaws yesterday. And I may even do a video about going to see Jaws again tonight in 3D for my first time. See what this movie's like in the third dimension. See what they can do with it. It wasn't filmed. It wasn't shot in 3D 50 years ago. But they have an effects where they can make it in 3D. Anyway, a lot of movie and television and nostalgia and pop culture and collecting and memorabilia and a lot of fun over at Mr. Cinemayo. Hello, Elementary Penguin. Hello, hello. Oh, all right, okay. I see Mark says he's wearing a Who shirt today. To think there are Beatles fans out there who have seen the Beatles, but with Jimmy Nicol, which would you prefer to see Joe, with or without Ringo? Well, Ringo only. You know, sure, absolutely. Sorry about this. Apple's policy from now on is you will buy the biggest, most expensive set, and you will like it. You know, what do you think of Matthew Street's rant about the 2025 anthology? I agree with him on that one. You know, I don't agree with everything that Matt says and rants about, and he doesn't have to necessarily agree with everything that I rant about, but we've been good friends here in the vinyl community, or Beatles community now, if you will, for quite a while, and yeah, I like that he tells it like it is. He lets it all hang out at times. Times I think, wow, who pissed in his cornflakes? And then other times I say, right on, I'm in there with you. Somebody peed in my cornflakes too, Matt. So a lot of times we agree on it. Is Jaws still as good seeing it again? Well, to me it is. To me, Jaws will never get tired. It's the kind of movie that I think lives on over the years. You know, sometimes I'll watch on YouTube reaction videos where certain people watch a movie for the first time and they play clips from it and they react what they think of it. And I always say it's amazing to see how many younger people say, you know, this thing, I thought it was going to be boring, or I thought it was going to be a problem because it was an older movie, 50 years old, but they said, I loved it. I thought it was really good today. It holds up. It seems like a movie from today. So I think it's always going to last. Is that Jaws equivalent of a big gulp? You know, I'll tell you there, Mark, this is a large size. You know, I got to say, it's a lot of stuff. It might be a big gulp. There's a lot that fits in here. I don't know the size. I got to look to see if it tells you. I can tell you already that the condensation is coming through. I wonder if this is going to take over from my alien green cup. I really don't know. I mean, I thought I would use it this time because it's brand new to me and it's fresh. It's a new toy, if you will. I might wind up using it exclusively on the movie channel, but I don't know. Very cool 50 merch. I wanted the tin bucket you found. We'll find. Please do. You know, you can probably get it. Just go from theater to theater. Go to, you know, buy it, and that's that. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. Not interested at all. I just found out today, no surprise probably, that in 2027, 2 years from now, they're going to be showing you the 50th anniversary of the first Star Wars movie that's now retitled Star Wars: A New Hope. And I don't like Star Wars, so I won't be there for it. Did Anthony enjoy the film, and did he buy anything? The only thing he bought was his ticket, and even that was barely he's barely willing to do. No, he doesn't buy anything. No, Anthony didn't buy anything. He got a free poster because they were giving posters out for free, you know. Are you good with 3D stuff? It never really works for me. Yeah, 3D always worked for me my whole life, but you know, it's weird because I didn't wear glasses my whole life. Now I wear glasses, as you can see, and you have to put the 3D glasses over these glasses, so hopefully it'll work, you know. Hello, Daniel. What's going on? Has your opinion of Jaws changed since you last saw it? If so, better, worse? Anything stand out this time around? No, it's exactly the same. Jaws is one of the movies I've seen the most of. There's certain movies in my life I've seen. It feels like 100 or more times. And Jaws is one of those. I know every frame. I know every word. I know every music cue. There's nothing that stood out new or different at all this time. But it's just, I never want to pass up the opportunity to see Jaws on the big screen when they bring it back. And I'll say it every time. There is nothing like seeing a movie on the big screen, and certain movies in particular are most effective on the big screen. Jaws is one of those movies. If you like Jaws, if you're listening to me and you say, yeah, I like that movie, I've seen it on TV, you got to see it in the theater, and hopefully with a big audience too. Because the bigger the audience, presuming they're respectable, mind you, and not trying to make fun of anything or goof around, the better, because the bigger audience, the better they get into it. They laugh in the right places. They cheer in the right places. You know, it's kind of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show experience now in a way. And they gasp sometimes in the right places. Although, as I say, audiences now they're jaded in a way to what they were 50 years ago. So that nothing that really wows them anymore or impresses them or scares them. But that's an interesting question. I don't know if the Jaws ones will be special edition. I don't know. Hello, Bill. Geez, the guy needs an Archie Bunker impersonation there, huh? Let me tell you something there. It says right there in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, let he who is without sin among you be the Rolling Stone. I still wish the third Jaws film could have been the proposed Jaws 3 People Nothing title. Yeah, that was going to be the title. Pretty funny. I've never seen all the other Jaws. Are they good? They're not good. I think Jaws 2 is pretty much watchable. Most people like Jaws 2 okay. Not as good as the first. 3 and 4 you could skip. There's Tom Hunyadi. And Tom, I feel so sorry for you. So sorry for you. You went to see Jaws in the theater for the first time, sat all the way in the back in the last row with the screen way down there, and nobody in the theater, no audience, just Tom. Oy. All I'm saying is give Jaws a chance. All I'm saying is give Jaws a chance. Especially on the big theater screen. Hey, somebody gave me a tip. I didn't see that. Who is that? Oh, it's Robbie. Robbie, thank you so much. What a generous man. Thank you. He just paid for my ticket tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, I wouldn't mind getting more merch. I wouldn't mind buying the other bucket that I don't have. I only got one bucket. I wouldn't mind getting the other bucket. So I love the 1930s and 1940s films. Love, love, love. I got to catch up here a little bit because I'm back there. Let me see. And Tom, are you in any position to come up here? Let me know if you are. Elliot. Hello, Elliot. Elliot. I have a question. You went to see Jaws at an IMAX cinema, but the IMAX needs to be shot with special IMAX cameras. What am I missing? All I know is it sounded great. It looked great. I don't know about all that stuff, Ali. I just know it looked and sounded fantastic. Let's see. Is there another War of the Worlds? I like Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds in 2005. Is there another one? If so, I have no interest. I liked Steven Spielberg. Has Anthology now given you all headache? Some videos were really exposing real mental health issues. I don't know all about this. You lost me. One of the best scenes when the two fishermen end up in the water as the dock collapses. You don't see any shark, just a collapsed dock turning around towards them with the great music. It is a brilliant and clever scene, especially when I was 13 years old in 1975 and didn't know that was going to happen. I was surprised by it. Did I enjoy the sub? I had a sub. If you mean sandwich, I'm lost. Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing about Spinal Tap 2. Spinal Tap, the first one, this is Spinal Tap, I do like, but I didn't love it. I don't love it as much as everybody else. That's another thing. Like Jaws, it's iconic, and people seem to revere it. I don't really think it's anything really that special. So I might see it, but I'm not. I might not too. You know what I mean? Are you glad the Beatles channel has released an updated "Laughing and Your Bird Can Sing"? I know you hate it. All of these releases to let out. I didn't know there was an updated. Are you a fan of Back to the Future? It's getting a release in theaters this October for the 40th. I think it's a very popular movie that should. I like Back to the Future. I'm not. I've never. Oh, I don't think I've seen any of the sequels. Back to the Future's okay. How about some Rodney Dangerfield? Oh, I tell you, it ain't easy being me. A hooker told me she had a headache. Okay. I tell you, I went to Burger King and they told me I couldn't have it my way. It's rough. I know I'm ugly. Are you kidding? My wife saw me naked. Now she's afraid of the light. Stephen Schnee, what's going on, Stephen? Did Anthony's Jaws poster have eyebrows painted on the shark? I'll bet you he'll go home and, I'll tell you a little bit of a rant, though, if you want to hear it about. So I picked up 2 free posters. That's right. I don't want just one. I want 2. 2 free posters. I should have got more. Got 2 free posters. And everything's fine. Weather-wise, everything was terrific weather yesterday when we got to the theater. We go out to eat after the movie, fine. We come home, it starts to drizzle. It's drizzling just a little bit. I got to go from the house into the car, into the house. So my girlfriend says, I'll get the posters. I said, no, let me get the posters. Don't you get them, please. Let me get them. She didn't listen. So she takes the posters. I don't really have them handy here, so I'll do this with a piece of paper. And she kind of like folds the posters like that, like gently. I mean, puts a little bow in them like that. Try to keep them from getting rained on. I wouldn't have done that. I would have put the bottom side like that. Whatever. Well, the point of the story is when we get into the house, don't you know there's a raindrop on one of the posters? No big deal. What's a one drop of rain, right? No big deal. So I take my shirt and I dab at it like this just to get the drop off. Do you know some of the poster color came off? I was furious. Mostly because I said, don't let me do it. Let me do it. See, the way I look at it is if I did it, it still might get a raindrop or still could be ruined, but at least I can't blame anybody. It's not your fault. It's mine. I said, let me do it. Fortunately, the poster that was on the bottom was protected. But I mean, of course, it didn't rain all day. There was no danger all freaking day. But of course, as soon as we get from the car to the front door, that's when it happens. All right. Nice cup. Thank you. I like it too. I like it. Is getting the other Jaws bucket on my bucket list? Not really. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people, if you look at my video over at Mr. Cinemayo, you'll see the 2 kinds of popcorn buckets that were available. And the one I got, I think people would say maybe that was the less interesting of the 2. But the one that I got was more like from the movie because it had the sign, the Amity sign on it. The other one had a shark on it, but it didn't really look like it. I agree about skipping Jaws 3 and 4. Saw first one when it first came out. Remember standing in a long line and watching girls crying coming out of the earlier show. Thank you, Daniel, very much. I appreciate that. The best things in life aren't free, but you can give Joe a like if you please. Please. I want money. That's what I want. Money and friends and good health and all that kind of thing. So I appreciate it. Thank you. There are Christmas cakes and treats in our shopping mall now next to the back to school stuff. And I thought Halloween was bad. I thought for Halloween, at least wait till you get into the middle of September. But no, well, the end of September, you know. So, do you eat at the cinema as a guilty treat or stick to your diet? Well, right now I haven't stuck to my diet. And if you know, I'm going to talk about that on my Mayo Loves Mondays lifestyle channel, living. Going to talk about that sometime in September. I'll tell you the update. Yeah, I decided to pretty much forego the whole thing in August. I'm going back. I would definitely say Jaws all the way. I mean, I like The Exorcist too, but The Exorcist is a movie that I don't think is held up as well. A lot of people see The Exorcist for the first time, especially younger people, and they say they think it's funny. They laugh at it. They don't think it's even scary anymore, which I really have a hard time accepting that because there's nothing scary. Nothing funny about The Exorcist. Nothing. Shouldn't be. I looked it up. There's a 2025 War of the Worlds on Prime Video. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Forget it. Forget it. Did you know that the Rock and Roll Circus 2 CD set was released on Friday with additional John Lennon music? I did not know that. Last I heard, there was a version where he did, there was some Revolution on there, the version of Revolution. IMAX is, all I know is it's a special high definition sound and picture way to see the movie. That's all I know about it. You know, so what happened to that guy who wore a toupee? I don't know who you're talking about. Mad Team, hello. Great Dangerfield. Well, I tell you, it ain't easy being me. My old man didn't like my looks either, my old man. He carried around a picture of the kid who came with the wallet. So you like the Who at Jones Beach. Roger's voice may not be as strong, but he still sounded great. Glad you enjoyed it. Do you have the expanded 2 CD Jaws soundtrack? It features the actual movie score and the one that came out on LP. Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't really know about that. Thank you, Stephen. You know, the thing is that, funnily enough, I just sent away for a banged up used copy of the original Jaws CD the first time it came out from the original, MCA album. It's different, and I like the album. For some reason, I like the album, the original album best, even though I've had a later version of it where they have more music on it. Maybe as a CD collector yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Hello, Rob. I got my tickets to see Paul in Vegas, second show of the tour. Any predictions for the set list other than the same old, same old? I've had enough of the same 5 opening songs. Me too. Well, first of all, I wish he would change the opening song. Enough with opening up with A Hard Day's Night. Enough with opening up with Can't Buy Me Love. Time to find another opener. And a lot of times Paul will surprise you and throw in a new track. So hopefully you'll have at least one track that's new in there. Yeah, Daniel says, I think it's all the parodies that have arisen since The Exorcist's release. Yeah, there's been a lot of Exorcist clones and jokes and funny things, and that kind of made The Exorcist unintentionally funny. All I can find is a 2019 release of Rock and Roll Circus, which has 2 CDs of material. Mine also has the Blu-ray and DVD of the video. I enjoy your life after 60 videos, and I am just a year younger than you. Very good. Let me tell you this, by the way. When I go to see Jaws tonight, which again, I'll reiterate, I'm going to see Jaws tonight with my friend Robert S. Robert S. liked the video that I made over at my Mr. Cinemayo channel about me going to get the merchandise and seeing Jaws on the big screen yesterday. So he said, you got me in the mood to see Jaws. I really want to see it now in the theater. And I said, hey, why don't we go? I'll go again. And this time we decided to go tonight and see it in 3D. So I'm gonna see it in 3D. And that should be fun, I hope. And it's the first time in my life that I'm getting something at a senior discount. This is a historic day. If I'm going to get something, my first time using my senior discount, I think Jaws 50th anniversary ticket is probably worthy as a memory of the first time. So there you go. What's your favorite guilty pleasure snack at the movie theater? Popcorn, candy, soda pop. I always figure when I go to the movies, I'm really not a big candy or junk eater. But a lot of times I like Junior Mints or Raisinets. If I'm going to get something, it'll be Junior Mints or Raisinets or popcorn. But generally speaking, I'm there to watch the movie and I don't get too hung up on it. Does going to see Jaws get you back in a mood to visit and review movies again? Not that much, actually. It should, but it didn't. I need to really continue the content on my movie channel. I've got 3 channels now, Did you see the merch money that I sent? There's more? Wait a minute. Maybe it's at the bottom. Wait a minute. Whoa, I missed the merch money. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know which is what. Oh, there it is. Merch money. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Robbie is very kind. Now I got merch money. So I thank you very much for that, Robbie. This makes it a special Jaws anniversary. I got ticket money and merch money. I appreciate it. All right, let's see now if I can find the comments again because I screwed up something here and I can't get back to my comments. Oh wait, live? Oh brother. I don't know how to get rid of this. Okay. Hold on, I'm a little bit mixed up here in my comments. Now I figured it out. So yeah, the Revolution. The Revolution is not even the complete version, right? I never bought that. Believe it or not, I don't even own that. A rare version of John doing Revolution. I don't have it. Are you going back to see Planet of the Apes movies after that bad experience? Well, that video that I put up about the bad experience at the Apes movie, that's a year old. I don't know if you know. That rant is a year-old rant. So I've been back after that. Before watching Jaws this coming week, the last anniversary return to the big screen was Grease in 1998 for the 20th. Paul should open his show with Loop, First Indian on the Moon. When he's done, you'll hear nothing but crickets and echoes. I'd clap. I'd applaud. I like that. It depends. When I want to have a snack at the movies, I'll go for Junior Mints. When I want to talk about Lennon stories, it's Elliot. Before watching Jaws this coming week, the last anniversary return to the big screen. Oh, they did this already. Okay. More merch. I have to buy more merch now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniel. I got more merch, folks. I'm doing good. I got merch money. Any cinema movie you've walked out on, not the recent experience. I walked out on a movie called Wired, which was, I think it was the 1980s, maybe 89 or 90, something like that. John Belushi story. It was such a terrible movie. I walked out on it. That's when I remember walking out on it. There might have been other ones too. But that's when I know for sure. I'm thinking of going to see Paul at either Pittsburgh or Buffalo. Yeah, I hear you, Elliot. If I was going to go, which I'm not, it would be one of those two. But, you never know. He might wind up coming around closer to us, and then you'll regret it. But if you don't see him, you might regret not seeing him. Cheers again, folks. Let's celebrate Jaws' 50th anniversary. And you see my shirt here, right? Well, there you go. Even though I like using this new mug or whatever you call it for my live streams, I do have to tell you, I got to really hold it with both hands. This could easily slip all over the keyboard. Not that I want to jinx myself. But the only movie I can remember walking out on was, believe it or not, Beatlemania, the movie. Really bad. Almost walked out on the Matthew Broderick, Meg Ryan comedy, Addicted to Love. Yes, it's true. Paul's next round of shows in 2026 will be in the UK. Very true. Not going to lie, I'm excited for the Jaws merch they're going to offer. I'm going to a Regal theater. Good. If you want that yellow bucket barrel, the barrel, that's what it is. They might have it at Regal. Or maybe they're on eBay already, boosting up the price. I wonder if this is the last chance to see Paul. Well, you never know. I don't think Paul's ever going to stop. As long as he can physically tour and play live, he'll do it. Excuse me. Absolutely, your channel and opinions always make my day, even when you're pissed. Yeah, I think I've teased you a few times too, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I do like the movie I Want to Hold Your Hand. For sure. I'm caught up with comments now. They were coming pretty quick. Oh, there we go. There's one from Mike. Hi, Mike. Check out his channel. He's got a great channel for movies, especially if you like older classic movies like I do. Gray 1951 Media Channel. Okay, Matthew thinks Paul's new album's coming out in 2026. Do you think he doesn't want to compete with Anthology and his Wings book this fall? I would think that Paul would want to ride off the back and the success possibly of the Anthology thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing the album's going to come out in 2026. When are you back to school? Well, I was back to school last Tuesday evening. When you say back to school, people might misunderstand, but when I was in that venue, and we'll see if I'm streaming. That's what I was saying earlier. If I wind up streaming this show from there, you're not going to see me probably because it'll be midnight. You'll probably be asleep. It's strange when you critique the Beatles. If you have a hot take, people treat it like you need to be exorcised. Exactly. It's tough. You can't win. I'm definitely going to tell it like it is. I'll always do that. You never know what you're going to get with me, whether I'm going to praise a Beatles-related group or solo item, or whether I'm going to critique it and put it down, criticize it, I should say. So you don't know. Okay, might pass on the box set. Too much money for Anthology. I'm not getting the Anthology vinyl. It's too much. Is the 2025 remix of Real Love out yet? Not officially that I know of. I don't think it's out yet. I'm looking forward to hearing it because I liked Free as a Bird, the 2025 remix. I'm hoping that Real Love is going to be good too. Looks like you can only get the John Lennon Power to the People 2 CD color vinyl 4 LP through the John Lennon website. Be my guest, Elliot. Are you going to get it? I'm a little lost as to like what this is in response to, George. Isn't it a shame though that things get released that people say they can't afford it? Yeah. Do you like Chicago? I like a few songs by Chicago. They just released the greatest hits in an expanded edition, great collection. Although some people complain that the other single versions, I still think it's great. Well, they always have little tricks to get you to still have to buy other things, I don't know if they'll stream the remixes on Spotify. Don't know. Don't care either, because I'm not a fan of streaming. What would Don say if you said you were taking him as a treat to the cinema? He doesn't care. Don doesn't he doesn't care. I wouldn't want to sit next to him. He wears a catheter bag that leaks sometimes and smells of urine, so I wouldn't want to sit next to him. James, hello, James. What's going on? What would a live stream be like without James? Okay, regarding telling it like it is about the Beatles or any other music icon. Right. Thank you. Right. As you should about any music icon. Right. Tell it like it is, George. Like, I tend to skip certain songs as I wasn't born when John was alive. So a lot of his overplayed songs can come across as like in tribute. And so it's like hearing to Light My Fire. When is the next Mikey Arugula video? I was a little concerned about that myself because Mikey's been busy and he's been out of town. He was out of town on vacation, and he's going to be back. He actually contacted me and wants to do something in September. So I imagine that within the next 2 weeks, there should be another Mikey Arugula video. They just posted Instant Karma from the one-to-one concert on YouTube. The picture and sound are great. Now, I just watched it before I went on here today, the Instant Karma. And one thing I noticed, again, is that the saxophone has been muted. Now, if the saxophone is still there, it's very slight. And there's even a shot of, I think it was his name Tex, and I don't know, and he's on the saxophone. He's blowing away in one shot. He's going, and there's no freaking sax sound. Hoping they release Volume 4 as a standalone vinyl in the future. Refuse to buy the box set. Well, I can understand that, Charlie. I can understand. I'm going to get it because I want to have all those new outtakes. Well, 13 of them out of 30 or whatever the hell it is. Will you frame the Jaws poster or just roll it up and put it in a drawer? I won't never put it in a drawer. Right now, I got it behind my head. You can barely see it over there, the Jaws 50. And it's in a plastic. They have these like clear plastic case things. It's in that right now for the time being. The one I watched had the saxophone loud and clear. I don't know. I watched it on my laptop. I didn't hear the saxophone. Maybe it's me. I don't know. People think I'm tone deaf. I'm not. But anyway, I don't know. What is the deal, Sean's deal with muting the sax on all his dad's record? He doesn't like saxophone personally, I think. That's what I think. But he tries to put a presentation out of what he thinks is the best. So that's what we're dealing with. It sounds like the instruments were mixed down. I'm okay with that. I thought certain instruments were too loud on Live in New York City. Okay, well, that's what it is then. It's probably mixed down. Thank you. Like I'll enjoy There's a Place over Love Me Do. Why? I don't hear it as much. Even George enjoyed that one. But yeah, that's the thing. I've always said that. Daniel, they call it a fatigue factor. You know, you're fatigued on certain songs, you know. So they get tired. Yep. I would, you know, I'm going to try to do. I'm going to have change my banner. I'm going to create a banner right here. Subscribe to let's see if this works. Why isn't it like moving like a ticker? There you go. Please subscribe to Mayo Loves Mondays and Mr. Cinemayo. Why won't it like scroll? That's weird. That's weird. Let me see something. Hmm. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why it's not scrolling. Hmm. Hello, Noah. What's a good word? I don't know if I know you don't stream, but for anyone, type in Tony Sheridan. There are different and longer early Beatles stuff within his music. Well, Love Me Do. I love Me Do. Love it. But of course, compared to other Beatles songs that are more profound, more involved, it's kind of more one of the more dull songs, maybe. Do you think Epic, the Elvis Presley in concert movie, will be any good? I have no idea. I'm hoping it will be. I've heard good expectations about it. You know, people are expecting it to be good. Um, Looking forward to seeing what Danny and Olivia Harrison Dark Horse Records have coming up next. I believe Concert for Bangladesh will be next. Yeah. You know, I'll go for it. You know, if they have Bangladesh out, but personally, it's not on my high wanted list of wants. I've already got Bangladesh back there somewhere. I think that's it. That orangey disc. I think maybe no. That might be the Beatles one album. It's back there somewhere, and it's in pretty good as it already is. You know, don't think John would have approved of sax being muted in his music. It's changing history. Yeah, and I agree. Any guests tonight, Joe? I don't know. I'm not really feeling it tonight. No. Geez, Jim. No intense offended there. You know, it's Archie screw up line. But you know, I asked Tom because Tom always comes up, but we could do a guest coming up later on, maybe. I don't know. Even though I'm in a pretty kind of jovial mood, or at least the way that I'm coming across on the screen, but I'm not feeling too great today. You wouldn't know it, would you? The way I'm acting. Hey, everybody, yada yada. But feel a little under the weather, actually. To fix the chat, you have to go to the top of the list and choose and hit live chat. They go, yes, right, exactly. Yes. I figured that out. Yeah. I got the answer to this. What would be a dream movie to see again in the cinema? The Omega Man with Charlton Heston. The Omega Man. A perfect thing for me would be Westworld and the Omega Man back to back. I'd love to join sometime. Oh, you would you? It's been a while since you joined, hasn't it? Maybe we'll have to see if we could arrange that. Okay, I'm going to put a link up here and we'll see. And then Mark, if Mark is still here, you can join. And I just want anybody to feel like, the thing I worry about is people like, oh, he's not letting me up, but he's letting everybody else up. It's like, it depends on my mood and stuff. And, sometimes depending on who you have on screen, people can either get along or not get along, or something too. You don't know. So we'll see how that goes. I'd like to see Dark Horse put out the 74 tour cleaned up with the best versions of Harrison. Danny spoke about that. Yeah, he did speak about that. He did. That is a fact that he spoke about it. And it seemed like for a while they were going to work on something, Imagine if Jaws wasn't called Jaws, it was called Bruce. Do you think Jaws is actually a weird name for a killer shark? It's not his name. Listen to me, Lila. Listen to me, everybody within the sound of my voice. Jaws is not the name of the shark. It's just like there was like an octopus movie out called Tentacles. You know what I mean? Or if there was a bear movie out called Claws. You understand? It's Jaws. It's about the teeth. The jaws of the shark. All right. New Jaws soundtrack coming for Rocktober, 78 for a 2 LP. That's expensive. The shark does not have a name. He does not have any name. He was called Bruce, making the movie affectionately the name of the mechanical shark. Was the nickname, but there is no name for the shark. His name is not Jaws. And we have our first guest, Mark. There we go, Mark. How you doing? Good to see a Who shirt.
Yeah, I figured I'd give a Who background too.
Yeah, you got the Who in the back. Okay, yeah, I'm very observant, as you can tell.
Hope you feel better.
No, just we know what it is. When I say don't feel good, it's from all the shit that I'm eating.
The stuff at the movie theater.
Well, the whole month, the stuff I've been going back on from my healthy diet, and I eat a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, and when I do that, like you can't tell really, I don't think, but I can feel it in my eyes and in my head. I'm just like not clear, but I'm making it work. You can't tell. I don't think.
Did you ever see the original Shogun miniseries?
No.
There was that bit where Blackthorn was in Japan and he had gotten used to Japanese food, and then Rodriguez invites him on the boat and he starts eating all the European food again and he makes himself real sick.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal.
Well, like I don't like today, man. Look, I'm talking too freely about this stuff. All I got to do is say I ate too many carbs and too much sugar, and that's good enough. But no, I got to go list everything and let you know how gluttonous it's been. But I was like, today alone, I had a hero sandwich from Jersey Mike's. It's the giant size, and they cut into 4. Okay, I still have a little piece left. I didn't eat the whole thing, and then I followed that with a root beer. That's all carbs and sugar. And potato chips. This is all crap that I wasn't eating for 5 months. And this is water. But anyway, and then after that, a little bit after that, I had some ice cream. Come on. You know what I mean?
I guess you're just a glutton for punishment.
That's it. Has Mark seen Jaws?
A long time ago. Probably in a galaxy far, far away, but we won't go there.
Oh, how you so if you're not a Jaws or real kind of a big fan, it must be tough hearing all this Jaws BS for you.
No, it's interesting to hear other people talk about stuff, even if I'm not into it.
Nice, appreciate that. The Who are. Go ahead. That's the whole thing. When you're so used to talking fast and moving through comments when I'm alone. I forget. I got to let guess. Nothing personal,
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. At this point, I'm really angry at Roger Daltrey for the way he treated Zach Starkey.
Ditto.
But as far as I'm concerned, if they want to play, they want to play. If nobody wants to see them, then they'll stop playing because nobody's coming to the concerts. But if people are coming to the concerts, they're going to keep playing. Probably.
Exactly. And he's got a bit of a beer belly or something, it looks like.
Oh, really?
Roger Daltrey to me, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of beer bellies,
but you meant Tom.
We got Tom here.
So I caught Jaws, and we got him here.
You caught him?
We caught him. We got him right here in the pot there. You can see it.
Oh, all right.
But we're gonna play them up right now. Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna do it right now. Let me see if I can turn this around.
That's like the scene in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane where Wayne Newton is talking about shark steaks.
And he shows sharks. Yeah, okay.
Facing back. Will that work? There we go.
Is somebody supposed to be eating this?
So yeah, we got a little bowl here. We got some sauce here, a little lobster cream sauce. All right. And we got our vegetable. Yeah, we got some wonderful asparagus here.
This is a buffet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Here, Nico, hold this real quick. All right.
Yeah.
We got some wonderful lobster risotto right there. Okay.
I don't want to clean that pan.
And then here's Jaws. Jaws is going to go right on top.
Oh my
There.
God, that looks good.
And then ready to go. There it is.
Whoa.
Bam. All right.
All
That's
right,
it.
Tom.
Have a good one, everybody.
You got to see Jaws again.
Oh, I plan on it.
See it quick.
What?
The next 3 days or so, by September 4th.
Yeah, I know. I got plenty of days to see Jaws again.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
And I'll check another screening or another theater and see if more people are going to be at that.
Yeah, look first. Look at the exit.
But you know what? It was kind of nice being in the theater all alone, though, because I do like some peace and quiet. You know.
I get that, but you got to experience Jaws. It's like Rocky Horror in a way.
Yeah, I know. All right, everybody, take care.
All righty, later. Okay, that was a nice little appearance there, Tom the chef.
That's not his own kitchen, is it?
No, he works as a chef.
Oh, really?
Wherever, yeah. I don't know where he is exactly now, but you know, he's a cook. Cook of the house. He's the cook of the house.
Yeah. Not my favorite Linda McCartney song.
No, huh? Do you have a favorite?
Probably Seaside Woman, although I also like Oriental Nightfish.
You know, I got that Linda album, Wild Prairie, and there was some good stuff on there. I like the whole album, but I can't remember what my favorite one was.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've listened to that one too. It's been a long time since I've listened to Rock and Roll Circus, but I knew where my Blu-ray set was, and son of a gun, there was a second CD in there that I didn't remember.
Oh yeah, hey, I found the CD the other day. I found I was in the anthology. I wanted to hear Anthology 1 for whatever reason, and I opened it up, and there was the Beatles 1 CD.
Oh, stuff in the anthology box
from the Blu-ray set. Like
1 Plus.
The 1 Plus, but it wasn't the promos. It was the audio disc. There's an audio disc and a promos disc, right? On the 1 Plus.
I can go pull that out, but I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at that one.
I think that's the deal.
I need to start comparing the mixes.
Mr. Red.
Well,
I got you. Horse is a horse, of course. It's Mr. Red. He hasn't been here in a while.
It's either Mr. Ed or John Cryer.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. You look a little like John Cryer there.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I think he's a he's a quick one when he's away. You know?
I never thought of that. Joe, I'm surprised you're not feeling well. You come across like you're feeling great today. It's called acting. No, I mean, sometimes these actually get me feeling better, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I get adrenaline rushes and stuff. Because when I ate all that crap early today, then Robert S. was like, oh, man, I really want to see Jaws. And I'm like, oh, man, we could go together tonight. And I'm like thinking, oh, man, I don't want it tonight, but I will.
Well, the 3D will keep you awake.
Yeah, I really wonder how they're going to pull that off. I'm wondering what that's going to be like.
It'll be interesting. Some of the conversions are great and some of them are not. I have no idea how they did that one.
Okay. I hope you're still here for this answer, right? Reaction of Sean somewhat about the critics of Sean somewhat about the critics of.
I think he's asking, has there been a reaction anywhere?
Oh, I don't think there's been any yet. I think he's been very quiet all around on this so far.
I think so too.
Well, if I may interject, I'm sorry. I wanted to say that, like, I believe if Sean was a bit more like, kind of like his dad, where he was a bit more straightforward on, hey, this is why, maybe giving the audience a bit more like, hey, this is going to be a little more of a different take. I think, maybe the critiques on his, tweakings might be a bit more like, oh, okay, well,
Well, he should come forward, I think, and explain. I personally, from all the evidence or whatever people have said, and Gary Van Sciak from the bass player from Elephant's Memory, talk to Sean, and the idea is supposedly that it's the lawyers for the record label, apparently. Otherwise, I believe that Sean probably wanted to put it out and really had to make a tough decision as to what to do, and ultimately went out with because the record company didn't want to do it. He could either, well, then I'm not going to put anything out, or I'm going to at least put this out this way. So I don't envy him for having that choice.
Mm.
Yep.
I just, first I was mad. I didn't know whose fault it was or whatever. You jumped the gun before getting all the reports, all the evidence. Whatever it is, I just wish that he would come forward at some point and just talk about it.
Maybe either closer to the release date or maybe just after.
Yeah. I don't know if you have a cooked shark or not. High on carbs and white meat really healthy. Don't carb. Oh, they got to stop the carbs.
I don't know. The carburetor works pretty good, right?
Sure. Who came in? Mike, let's go with I've seen the Who and Madness so many times that beg people not to get me tickets for them anymore. I'm a little lost.
Yeah, to address a point that Lila made earlier, Quadrophenia is my absolute favorite Who album. The movie is not my favorite, although I have a couple of copies of it. But the album itself, to me, that's Pete Townshend's crowning achievement.
Okay. So Zeech Calzone. I don't know if it's true, Joe, but apparently the white label single in the Macca single sets are selling for $1,000. What's white label single? And I don't remember in the box set. Talking about that box
set, so I don't know. Did you get the Macca singles box?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I did not.
I showed them all, and that was that. Oh boy, what's going on, Ramoga?
Hey, Mark, I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Since you're such a fan, I've always been curious because whenever it comes to the Who, and Joe, obviously your opinion as well, is I always feel like Pete is a bit of a pushover, and I don't know why. I don't know why I get that impression. I feel like he lets Daltrey kind of, I'm gonna run the show. I beat you up years ago or whatever. He strikes me as. What's your thoughts?
I think all of them were rather strong-willed and very hard to control. I don't think they ever completely figured out the dynamic in the group. And with where they come from, they tend to fly off the handle pretty easily. And of course, Keith Moon was uncontrollable, period. Entwistle seemed like the calm part of it, sort of at the eye of the hurricane, and yet he wound up doing more drugs and killing himself, which is very unfortunate.
Is that what he died of?
Well, he died of a drug overdose in 2002, I believe.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yes.
Which is just before the tour was about to start. So I think he was getting ready for the tour by having some sort of drug and had too much of it, or he hadn't had it in a while. I don't know all the details, and they wound up having to get Pino Palladino in fairly quickly to just get the tour off the ground. And then he became a mainstay of the group. But as far as the dynamic between Pete and Roger, they have always been at loggerheads, and Pete has always had to sell his songs to the rest of the group. He's made it fairly clear in the various liner notes that he's written that he always had to pitch the song, and in many cases they didn't want to do some of the songs. Some of them eventually wound up on solo albums, but he sold a lot of songs to the Who, including maybe a few not so good, but his track record's pretty darn good. And that was not upon the fact that they used to be on Track Records.
Well, I got to see John Entwistle at the Ringo show in '95.
Oh, wow.
He did
Nice.
Boris the Spider. Boris the
Where's the spider?
His vocal range was amazing. He could do that deep voiced stuff, but then you listen to My Wife, which is a high tenor. Plus, he was not only an absolute whiz at the bass, but he could play the horn instruments. He was marvelous. I never got into his solo stuff, although I have a box with it. But maybe someday I'll listen to it. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's sad how many great musicians we've lost to those substances.
Mhm.
It's really a shame.
I don't know, I'm tired. I don't know if I can stay awake for Jaws. I'm telling you. 3 hours from now starts.
Dun, 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 dun.
I gotta put the glasses over these glasses. I wonder how it's gonna work.
Is this your first 3D movie in a long while?
I can't remember what the last one was. I've seen a bunch in my life. I just can't think what the last one was.
Yeah, I have a 3D TV, and that's one of the reasons I don't upgrade to 4K, because the 4K sets don't have the 3D capability. So I'd be losing a major piece of my collection.
But what's that like? Do you have to wear glasses to watch them on your TV even?
Yes, and the ones I have are the ones that you put a little battery in them. There were some that you could charge up, but you'd always have to charge it up before you view the movie, and that's not how I want to operate. So normally what I wind up doing is take the glasses out, switch the battery, and then watch the 3D movie. I've actually got two that I need to watch in 3D because there's a company in Germany that is slowly putting out some of the 3D versions that don't get released here on home video. So Kung Fu Panda 4 and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish have been out in 3D, and I have them both and haven't watched them yet.
Well,
Looking forward to both.
When it comes to regular movies, I mean, those TVs they don't convert anything to 3D. It has to be a 3D movie, right?
There is a simulator in it, which is not bad. Now, mine dates back to 2010, which is in the early days of the 3D TVs. So they may have improved the algorithm, but now they're not doing it at all. So I don't know. But there have been occasions where I've been able to use the simulator for something. For instance, there was a Doctor Who logo, which I said, oh, this would be good in 3D. So I flipped the 3D thing on, and yeah, it was pretty good in 3D. Mm-hmm. And there was a point, this was when I had Comcast, was it? I think it was Comcast cable, that for a while they were putting some sports events out on a 3D channel. And it was either side to side or top to bottom. And the 3D simulator could process those. So I got to watch some golf in 3D, which was pretty neat.
My God.
But then I switched over to AT&T Universe, and they didn't have, I think by that time, Comcast had already pulled the 3D channel because it wasn't getting enough subscribers. So anyway.
Mr. Ed, you seen Jaws?
Yes, I have. I've had the pleasure. That's why I asked you, Joe. I went, hey, since the first time you'd seen it, was there? And then when you were like, oh, I know the dialogue, I know the
There's nothing.
cinematography and the shots. And then my favorite one is, you came to me on the day my daughter was to be married.
I think I know what that is.
It's beautiful. Brando plays it to a T, and then it's one of those things that my parents' anniversary is on the 1st, and actually they were married that year when The Godfather came out, and they even said, "Hey, we weren't even Italian," and our wedding was because that was the popular thing. The movie was so big, and so too weddings kind of started to go that same sort of route. Hey, it's okay to have sort of in the backyard type of thing, and then you kind of go and say, "Oh, I didn't know my parents are that old." And you don't realize.
I see, said the blind man. Well, this is some more news about, not news, information.
We
about
don't have enough information.
John Entwistle. Oh boy. Anyway, what do you feel is Paul's best and weakest live album? These days, I'm partial to Amoeba Gig. Actually, is my favorite right now. But to say that's the best is kind of cheating in a way. I don't know. And rock, everybody loves rock. Wings Over America the best, but I don't know. Weakest. How about Trippin' Alive Fantastic is the weakest?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I also dig the Back in the U.S.
Yeah.
I thought that was okay. As a younger listener, because that's kind of when I started getting interested in it.
Okay.
I think I preferred Back in the World to Back in the U.S.
They get them mixed up.
But I don't remember the differences anymore.
Up, Marcus? Yeah, we were talking about this.
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it. I find the saxophone to be too muted. But then again, when it was said that sometimes it was too over the top in the actual concert, I would agree with that. When I think of it in that song, it's really all over the place. The saxophone a little too much, but I don't know. It's too much. I don't like. Too little. Too low. I don't like. So very hard to please, I guess, with that.
Okay, Goldilocks.
Sure. I get it. I'll eat porridge too. I'll eat anything. I'll have anything.
Oh,
Would yours be better if every now and again someone throws a bucket of water over you? I don't think so.
I don't think that's on Joe's bucket list.
No. That's a great impression. Godfather. What gets me? Well, first of all, the audience, when I went to see it, there were about 15 people in there, including us. I mean, there weren't a lot of people there, and I was kind of up more, so I couldn't see anybody or hear anything. The sound is so loud. No, there was no real reaction to anything, and that's what I missed. That's why when we go tonight, I'm hoping that there's going to be. I think there is more of a crowd because we got our tickets. We checked on the chart. We could see the seating chart. There was more X's seats, so hopefully there's going to be a little bit more. But I still think in 1975, audiences were different. We hadn't seen it all yet, right? They weren't summer blockbusters all the time. This was like a new thing, and it was exciting. And there were no slasher films yet, really. It was more. The audience was different. They weren't as jaded, I call it, But what gets me is I always get a thrill out of wondering about people who've never seen a movie, wondering what their reaction is going to be. And I noticed that there was a dad, it looked like a dad with maybe 3 children. Very little children that came in at the beginning, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. They'd never seen it. And then around the scene where the head was going to come out of the boat, which is the scariest jump of all, the dad took the kids and they went out of the theater. Now, I don't think it was, I wouldn't know. It could have been deliberate because he didn't want them to see the head, but it could also be somebody had to use the restroom, and it's a situation where everybody's got to go because they're very little children or something. So I'm thinking, oh no, don't miss this. So they missed it because they came back to their seats after that big scene.
I'll bet it was intentional.
Yeah.
And I don't really blame the father for that either.
Really. You ever feel like reading a novel written by a man? Okay.
Now let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. As a matter of fact, we'll get rid of this person who's probably not the real Peter Boothroyd. I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. I usually read things first.
I remember when I first saw Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was a I guess you could call it a sneak preview because they did it on a double bill with the Charles Bronson film Death Hunt. I
Uh-huh.
had to sit through Death Hunt to get to Raiders. Death Hunt was terrible, but I sat through it, got to Raiders. When that boulder came out chasing Indiana Jones, the entire theater gasped. It was
Yeah, yeah. That
haven't
was great.
seen that many movies with that kind of reaction. The most recent one would have been Avengers Endgame in 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good if you still get a reaction. You know what I mean?
People cheered at that movie, probably more than I did.
Today, National
Really?
Frankenstein Day.
I didn't know that.
You know, that's the word I'm looking for. Desensitized.
Yeah.
But still, you know, that scene again, back to Jaws with the head coming out of the hull of the ship. It is so perfectly done. And Spielberg talked about how after the movie was finished, he said, "I think I can get one more scare in this movie." And he went back to shoot that sequence from the editor, Verna Fields, her swimming pool, and they put the he got I think he paid his own money. He used his own money to rebuild everything, the bottom of the hull of the boat and all this stuff, and got the head back, and because it was good in the movie the way he had it, but he think he could make it better. So they tried a variety of ways. The head, you know, the Dreyfuss character, who I think in this particular thing from the back is not Dreyfuss. The shots of him from the front, but Dreyfuss. But when they reshot it from the back of the guy's head, there's times when you get up to the ship, the boat, and the head's already there. Then he gets up and it takes a little bit longer and it comes out. And he gets there and it just arrives there. Like there's all different ways he did it. Finally, he got one that worked, which is in the film. He edited it into the film, and that's the one everybody loves. And along with there's also a real like squealing kind of sound, music sound that they use too, which really makes it on top of the visual. You know, it's like perfect. And it's one of those moments in cinematic history, or horror type of cinema anyway, that something really shocks you. And everybody says the same thing. I knew it was coming. I've seen it a million times, and even though I had the same thing, I got a shiver. I know it's coming. I'm not going to surprise me. I'm waiting, and it comes out, and I got a shiver. So it still works.
Spielberg knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Where am I? I gotta go see where we are now. I think the scene in Carrie was more of a surprise. With the hand coming out. You see, the thing is, these days it also is if you've come to expect it. It's how a scene shot too. Like I know by the way the scene in Carrie is shot, I could tell something's going to happen in that grave. To me, or the way sometimes if they allow enough room on the side of the frame to allow something to come out, the way that Jaws head scene is shot, you wouldn't expect anything to come out at that moment. And your attention is this big hole in the side of the boat, and the man's head, the diver's head is there, examining the tooth of the shark that he found embedded in the hole. And he's like, and all of a sudden that thing comes out. Nobody's expected it. I might have expected it if there was a big space on the side of the frame dedicated to something coming. But the way that was, I never would have expected it. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't take. I mean, I love Frankenstein, almost all things Frankenstein, but the book, I can't take it. That's me personally. Just boring as all hell to me. Yeah. Apparently, with the Quint scene, real sharks can and do actually jump onto boats if they sense food. I've heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Robert Shaw was such a great actor.
Yeah, too bad we lost him kind of early.
Way too early.
Yeah, I had like a few movies with him in it.
Yeah. The Sting for one.
Oh, yeah.
From Russia with Love for another.
Russia with Love. Taking a Pelham
And
1, 2, 3,
Robin and Marion. He's extremely good in that.
which I have that one I haven't seen.
Oh, really? Sean Connery, Nicole Williamson, Robert Shaw,
You got me.
Audrey Hepburn. Directed by Richard Lester, which and
I know
it's
that
not
name.
his usual style. It's much more elegiac. I love Robin and Marion. That is a really good film. Although my favorite fantasy film is Excalibur.
You got me again. Somebody say something. I feel like I've seen all these.
Mm.
I don't have much longer, fellas. I got to be leaving. I'm going to do 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, they've also got a new version of The Running Man coming out with
Schwarzenegger.
Glenn somebody. I
They're
can't
going to
remember.
do it again. Yeah, it's funny.
With Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold. Because I wanted, as a kid, I wanted Jaws to win for Best Picture, but a funny thing happened. My mother took me the same year as Jaws to see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and as a 13-year-old, I mean, I even loved it. I thought it was a great movie, back then I was only watching monster movies, horror movies. So I liked it. I came out and she said, "You see, there are movies besides horror movies that are good, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that was really good, Mom." And so when it won Best Picture, I kind of got it, that it won. It's a shame, but I really wonder. That's a tough call. I mean, Jaws really deserved the Best Picture win, but so did the other one. So no, I'm gonna not get the other bucket. No, I mean, I don't even need the one, to tell you the truth. At least the Jaws one that's on the corner, nobody can see, has a shark's head. I can't point to it here, sitting on the ledge. At least, I don't know, the one that I got, the tin bucket that I got, I was caught in the moment.
Did Chinatown win for the year prior in '74?
Did what win? What did what win?
Chinatown, because that's when Jack was really
I don't know. I should know.
I think.
What movie made you laugh nonstop from beginning to end? It's hard for me to laugh out loud in a movie myself. But I know I'll give you some that I think I remember being funny throughout. Whether I actually went out loud, I don't know. The Naked Gun, the first one with Leslie Nielsen. My Cousin Vinny, I thought.
Actually, 74, it was The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. I also like, there's a Laurel and Hardy movie called Blockheads that I like from beginning to end, and Sons of the Desert. Those are some of mine. Anybody?
Some of the Pink Panther films and the Marx Brothers films did it for me.
Oh, the Marx Brothers. Oh, the first time, that was a laugh out loud moment. The thing is, when I was young, I never cared for the Marx Brothers when I was young, but when I got older, I did. But when I did one time on late night TV as a youth, catch the scene in just the duck soup scene with the mirror.
Oh,
and I was laughing out loud, and that doesn't usually happen. That was funny, man.
For me, Big Lebowski. I think that's hilarious. John Goodman is too good as a Vietnam vet that's just completely unhinged. If you know somebody like that, you go, "Oh, he plays it to a T." And then they use bowling as sort of the. Jeff Bridges is great.
Intermission in Godfather 2. Well, there's an intermission in Godfather 2. I mean, whenever they have intermissions, they did that at the theater, and they do it too when you see it revived in theaters. They have an intermission. They'll do that. I saw Ben-Hur a few times. It was, I think the greatest movie for me. And yeah, I saw it in the theater at least 3 or 4 times in the last 20 years or so. And yeah, they always had a break, the
When
intermission.
I first saw Amadeus, they had an intermission in that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they've done since on any further showings of it. But it was quite a shock when the movie just stopped suddenly and then picks up again. They didn't even do an entr'acte or any kind of music to guide you from one part to another. They just split it.
Yeah. Well, you know, changing from Amadeus to something totally different with Quentin Tarantino. I wish they would have put Kill Bill 1 and 2 out like it was one, like it's supposed to, and have an intermission in there.
The whole bloody affair.
Yeah, the whole
We're
thing.
waiting.
Well, when I first started going with my girlfriend, she doesn't like movies like that, and they were bringing it back at this theater. It was midnight. I still can't believe how I did that. They were having Kill Bill 1 and 2 back to back in this independent movie theater, and she went with me, and we stayed awake, and it was so good together, and she loved it, which is like she doesn't like blood and gore and all this stuff, but she really, two things. She liked the woman because it's a woman getting revenge and being a strong woman character, so she liked that. And also some of those scenes, like with the Crazy 88, when she's killing all these people by herself, is so ridiculously over the top that she actually, thought it was funny or fun rather than gore, like disturbing.
Now, was that sequence in black and white when you saw it?
It was in black and white, yeah.
I think that's the only way I've seen it as well.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole bloody affair. I've never seen it the way it's supposed to be, and I can't believe at this time that we don't have it.
I think it's all tied up with Miramax and rights. They did put it out on 4K, but it's still two separate films.
The Airplane is funny.
That's got some great lines in it.
Yeah, Sonny from Godfather. What SNL skit was the most memorable for you?
Land Shark.
I don't know, man. I should have a lot of them because I know a lot of the show.
William Shatner, Get a Life.
Oh yeah. That's a classic. Absolutely. That's. I'm glad you thought of that right away. That's one of mine.
I'm into the Star Trek ones. There was a marvelous sketch that Patrick Stewart did, which had nothing to do with Star Trek, where he played a Scottish therapist, and the gag was that he's always pissed, as in drinking too much. Yeah.
Geez, there's so many. Why can't I think of them? I'm thinking of all different.
Bill Murray as the lounge singer.
Yeah.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Yeah.
I actually like. I hate to say because I like the Beatles. I like some of the Beatles ones. Like I like with Paul with Father Guido Sarducci live, so to speak, and I like the Ringo auction. That's another one when Ringo was on there. You ever see that one? They have at the beginning of the pre-credit sequence. It's a Beatles auction, and they're all sitting in this room with Sotheby's or whatever it is, and they're kind of auctioning off. I don't know. I don't remember the exact things. This is a shirt worn by Paul or whatever. $20,000 or whatever it is, and then they say, okay, this is this and $10,000, and then they say, now we have Ringo Starr from the Beatles, right? And he's wearing the original collarless suit he's got on, and they wheel him in like it looks like I think on a hand truck or something. And he's standing there, and nobody wants to bid on him. They're trying to start the bidding. Nobody wants Ringo, and he's just standing there looking all disappointed. And then finally, somebody says, "That suit that he's wearing." I mean, yes. What about it? He says, "Was that ever worn by Paul?" So they wind up not bidding for Ringo, and then he says, "Live from New York, it's Saturday night." But
do you remember this would have been in the 70s. There was an SNL with Ray Charles. And at the end of the show, when they're all together, there was some bit where they held up a sign behind him that read, "Please don't tell him." Of course, Ray Charles is, but I can't remember what it was that they were doing. Do you have any recollection of
No,
that?
you know what's crazy? I actually have a lot of the sets back there on DVD.
Yeah, I have a few of them too, but I haven't found that one.
I remember one time actually setting out to watch one every Saturday. And I remember thinking these weren't all consistently great. Like there was times when, but there's like this commercials I like. Some of the commercials they made are funny. The cereal Quarry that's full of rocks and minerals, and it's actual rocks. No, vitamins and minerals, and it's actually rocks. What's that thing that's a dessert topping and also a floor polish as well? It's for two things. I guess nobody remembers these but me.
Piscopo and Murphy, when they were Sinatra and Stevie Wonder, them doing that ebony ivory thing.
I liked Billy Crystal doing Sammy Davis Jr., honestly.
And Fernando Lamas.
Oh, yeah.
You look marvelous.
Yeah.
And the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
But those classic. Another thing I used to like is when Garrett Morris used to do the hearing impaired.
Very good to me.
That's a good one. I like when they do the hearing impaired and he's on the bottom of the circle for the hard of hearing, and he screams like that. They said the president of the United States said tonight you got him for the hard of hearing, and he goes, "The president of the United States," yelling, "Said tonight."
I don't think I've seen that one. That's hilarious.
Yelling everything. I guess, can I say that? I don't want to offend anybody. Jeez.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are. I don't even know that. What time zones do you got?
Well, at least two of them. At least two of us are. I'm in the Central Time Zone. Joe, you're in the Eastern.
And I'm out in California, so I'm West Pacific.
So what? It's just after 4:30 here. What time is it by you guys?
1:30.
In Baltimore, it's 6:42. Time for the 11 o'clock report. That's a George Carlin bit. It's 3:32 here.
And 1:30.
So we need somebody from the Mountain Time Zone just to make it complete. And Hawaii.
I gotta get off here soon.
Yep.
Eugene Levy. Oh, Splash. Splash is one. I remember him being in there.
A Mighty Wind for me.
I liked him as the just to have a different one is I liked him as the dad in American Pie, and him trying to have that awkward conversation with his child. I thought he played that marvelously. Or Bringing Down the House with him and Steve Martin when they kind of sort of bounce off each other.
I just thought of Steve Martin and Dan Aykroyd, was it? Two wild and crazy guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Looking for foxes.
That's another thing I liked. Yeah, but that William Shatner could be close to the top for me.
Dana as Johnny Carson. I loved every because at that time Carson was kind of on his way out, and he would kind of play that up. And then Phil Hartman was McMahon, and he would go, yes. It was quite good.
Chris Farley was really funny. I like what he did. It was that guy. He did his pants were always coming down or something. He went to like the house to talk to the kids and everything.
Matt Foley.
Oh, is that what that was? Matt Foley's picking his pants up and stuff.
I like Chris Farley and Beverly Hills Ninja. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Mark is so relaxed. I wish I could be like that. Guys, I gotta get going. The reason I started at 3 was because I had to pick my girlfriend up earlier today at 5. So otherwise I would start at 4, picked her up about 6. So anyway,
Well, thanks for
thanks.
having me on again. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
You're welcome to be here. And
Enjoy
you
your
too,
film.
yeah, we're gonna see that again in a few hours. And looking
Ed, nice
forward
to
to it.
work with you.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right, everybody. Thank you all, and and I appreciate everybody's generous contributions that help me. Because, like I said, this thing, this damn StreamYard costs money too, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, had a good time. Thanks, everybody. Talk soon. Cheers.